How you doing, everybody? It's Aaron Christensen with Horror 101 with Dr. AC, and this is Scare-A-Thon 2024, benefiting the Women's Reproductive Rights Assistance Project. If you'd like to know more about the fundraiser, go to this link right up here, and that will take you to the video that gives you all the information. You can also find the link to that video at the end of this one. And today we're going to be talking about Swamp Thing from 1982, written and directed by none other than Wes Craven, the man behind Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Scream. So Swamp Thing has recently been released to 4K UHD Blu-ray by MVD as part of their Rewind collection, their 4K Laserdisc collection. And it has a nice little slipcover here. We've got two discs. We've got the UHD and the regular Blu-ray. And then we've also got a little mini poster of the cover art. So the movie Swamp Thing is, of course, from DC Comics, where it had its origins. The character was created by Len Wein and later revived by Alan Moore. And that's about as much information as I have because I'm not a huge comic book geek. But I can tell you that the movie stars Ray Wise, who, of course, people know from Twin Peaks and RoboCop, Louis Jourdan, who had come off of the 1977 TV movie Count Dracula, and he would later go on to be the baddie in 1983's Octopussy with James Bond. It's got Nicholas Worth, who's done a ton of things, and horror fans may know him from Don't Answer the Phone. And of course, our headliner is Adrienne Barbeau, star of such things as The Fog, and Escape from New York with John Carpenter, Two Evil Eyes, and Creepshow for George Romero, and The Convent by Mike Mendez. And she plays a tough-as-nails U.S. government agent who comes down to the swamps to find out what's been going on in terms of a secret research project. Louis Jourdan's character comes in to steal the formula, and there's an explosion, and the formula gets dropped all over Alec Holland, who is Ray Wise's character. He runs out into the swamp, dives into the water, and when he emerges, he is Swamp Thing, who's played by huge character actor Dick Durock. And by huge, I mean he's a big guy. He's 6'6", and he's wearing this giant rubber suit. And Jourdan's henchmen, which include David Hess from Last House on the Left, proceed to try and track down Swamp Thing and Adrienne Barbeau in an attempt to bring back the formula so that Jourdan can rule the world, or something like that, whatever bad guys do. Now, this came at a point in Wes Craven's career where he'd already done Last House on the Left and Hills Have Eyes, and he was starting to kind of play around with the mainstream. He'd done a film called Deadly Blessing, came out around the same time. And this was just before he had his big success with Nightmare on Elm Street. And he may have seemed like an odd choice for it. And on the surface, he probably was, because here he was trying to do this action movie, superhero, kind of comic book fable, which was far removed from the kind of things that he'd been doing already. But he was looking to expand his range and again, and try and have some mainstream success. The film wasn't entirely successful. However, it became enough of a cult favorite that it spawned a sequel directed by Jim Wynorski, and later a TV show that ran for 3 seasons. All of those iterations starred Dick Durock as Swamp Thing, and Louis Jourdan returned as his character in the sequel, which also featured Heather Locklear. The film is an amusing trifle. It's got plenty of action. It's got a lot of like hammy acting, and even though all the behind the scenes reports are that it was a pretty tough shoot, it seems like people are fully invested in trying to bring this story to life. Is it the most successful film that Wes Craven ever did? Far from it. Is it the worst thing Wes Craven ever did? Far from it. Craven has had some serious highs and lows over his career. Just look at Hills Have Eyes Part 2 or Shocker. So this lands squarely in the middle. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's certainly watchable. The extras that are on this UHD release mostly are ported over from the Shout Factory release in 2013, the interviews with Adrienne Barbeau, and there's a 2018 interview with Kim Newman from the 88 Films release, which talks about Craven's career from Last House on the Left and how he came to make Swamp Thing. And so the biggest reason to pick up this MVD release is to have the film in that 4K UHD. If you already have the Shout Factory Blu-ray, there's not a whole lot new here. Again, it's just an increase in quality. So that is Swamp Thing from 1982, available on 4K UHD from MVD Releasing. And this is Scare-A-Thon 2024, benefiting the Women's Reproductive Rights Assistance Project. We are coming toward the end of the fundraiser, so please, now is the time. Please go to the link in the video, make a donation now, and make a real difference for these women in need. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great night.